Let's go. When is this? When is this? Give me... Oh, okay, so this is right at the start of the game, alright. In August. So after Ikeda, I think. A month, yeah. So I think this is after Ikeda, before Hamaguri. A month had passed since the Ikeda incident, where the Shinsengumi had rescued the city of Kyo from being engulfed in flames. Yes. That's odd. Where did Heisuke run off to? I came out here to tell him that it's almost time for him to apply his ointment. Oh, Heisuke, there you are.
Get.
Oh, he's actively running away from us. Huh? What's with the... Oh, crap. I found your ointment, but I couldn't find you to apply it, so I was worried about you.
いや、傷はほとんど治っちまったからもう薬はいいって。
Oh, you know it's not going to heal that easily. It hasn't even been half of a month.
俺傷の治りは結構早い方だからさ、心配はいらねえから。
No, Heisuke. What are you going to do if it gets infected, or worse, starts festering? Especially with the humidity recently. Don't underestimate these scars. If you do, then it might become more serious.
それは分かってるけどさ。
Now stop resisting me and show me the wound. I'm going to put something on it to help.
薬なら自分で塗るって。
No, I know you're not as thorough as I am when you rub it.
たく医者の娘だけあってこういうことにはうるせえんだな、お前。
Bitch, you're getting this ointment and you're going to behave. We returned to the common room and had Heisuke unwrap his bandages to show me the wounds. Okay, no signs of any infection. So I'm just going to put some aloe here.
その薬すっげえしみるんだよな。他の薬はねえの？
I do, but this is the best thing I have at making open wounds close up faster. You know, for doctors, they usually say that the more the ointment stings, the better it's working on your skin.
だといいんだけどな。
Now stay put. I dab some more of the ointment onto my fingertips from a seashell! God damn it. Seashell, where it was being stored, to rub it onto Heisuke. Sorry, just bear with me for a second longer.
分かってる。なるべく一気に終わらせてくれ。
Alright, that should be it. Wow, you did great there, Heisuke.
ガキあやすみてえな言い方やめてくれって。俺お前より年上なんだぞ。
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. It's just really easy for me to talk to you, Heisuke. It doesn't feel like you're older.
たく。
Oh, I know. Here you go. This is for your obedience. What?
なんだ？飴玉？
God damn. Back in Edo, whenever one of our child patients had to visit us, we always make sure to give them a candy like this one.
あのな、だからそういうのが。
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Did I? What? Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
いや、別にいいけどさ。
Heisuke puckered his lips as he pouted, but then he unwrapped the candy and popped it into his mouth. Sorry.
何度も謝らなくてもいいって。確かに俺、佐野さんとかはじめくんに比べればガキっぽいし。
Oh, so he admits it.
薬を塗られるの嫌がって逃げ回るなんてガキくせえって思われてもしょうがねえもんな。
It's not like that.
いいんだよ。これでも自覚はしてるんだから。これからはもう少し考えねえとな。これからもずっとお前にガキ扱いされるのは尺に触るし。
What?
なんでもねえから気にすんな。そんじゃ俺巡察の支度をしなきゃならねえから。
Be careful.
おう、そんじゃな。
And with that, Heisuke quickly gathered himself and rushed out of the common room. I never meant to treat him like he was a child, though. It seemed like I might have bothered Heisuke, so maybe in the future I should be a little more careful. Records of service. Looking for Heisuke Todo. Boop. That means you're free. It must have been a real burden for you to grow up with no father. And even worse, to know he existed, but to also know that you could never try to find him. It seemed like it would have been too much for a child to bear. He had grown into a man now, able to deal much better with the cruelties of life. But as a child, Heisuke must have been terribly lonely.
まあでも表向き死んだことになった俺にはもう仕送りなんて送られてこねえだろうし、親がくれたとかいう刀も池田屋で使い物にならなくなっちまったし、これで本当に親とのつながりは切れちまったってことだろうな。
No. So, now that you're dead, you're finally free. You've got a new life. There's nothing tying you down. So to me, I think that it means you can live your life however you like to live it.
今の俺は自由か。そんじゃ羅刹になったついでにここからは新生東堂平助の始まりってことだ。
The sadness I'd seen in his face disappeared, and indeed it was there so briefly that I soon began to think it had only been an illusion. I'd known that it wasn't really something someone could get over easily, but knowing Heisuke, I'm sure he's strong enough to get through it. I had to do something to help him. Give him medicine as an actual option. Holy shit. Here, Heisuke, drink this! With shaking hands, I handed him the medicine Sana-san had given me. I didn't know how much good it'd do him, but it had to be better than blood.
そうだな。血を飲むよりはずっといいか。
Drink this medicine. Be careful not to choke on it, though.
ああ、分かってる。
He swallowed the medicine and coughed. I held my breath. His bloodlust didn't seem to leave him as quick as I'd hoped, which was worrying me. Even if it had only been a few minutes since he'd taken the serum, it felt like an eternity to me. Heisuke, hang in there. Eventually, Heisuke's breathing began to settle into a normal rhythm. Okay, hold on. He took off, pulling me behind through the cold, dark woods. The shouts of our pursuers echoed off the trees and seemed to come from everywhere. Neither of us knew the forest, and so we ran through it nearly blind, trusting in luck to keep us from the enemy. He squeezed my hand.
心配すんな。俺がついてるよ。
Despite our rather desperate situation, I felt myself blush. He squeezed my hand again, and I turned even redder. But all thoughts of romance disappeared when I looked up. Oh no! The forest!
まずいな。道に当たっちまったか。開けたところに出ると銃の餌食だ。
But we didn't have time to think. I could hear our crashing through the forest coming closer. What? I could hear our crashing through the forest coming closer.
俺が先に出て盾になる。2、3発受ける覚悟で道を横切って反対側の森に飛び込むぞ。銃の傷ならすぐに治るし大丈夫だって。それに悩んでる暇はねえ。行くぞ。
The trees ended and he ran onto the road a few steps ahead of me. A line of Imperial riflemen waited for him. The air exploded with gunfire. Heisuke!
大丈夫だってこの程度。あれ？
あれ？え？あれ？ He wasn't healing as fast as he usually did. No, he wasn't healing at all. What's going on? But we didn't get a chance to try and learn why.
傷が治ろうと治るまいとどっちでもいいか。ここでこいつらを全滅させなきゃならねえことには変わりねえもんな。
Heisuke ran headfirst into the hellish storm of bullets. With a monstrous display of swordsmanship, he slayed the soldiers one by one. By the end, he was drenched in their blood.
いい匂いだな。
Heisuke, what?
甘くて濃くて日本一の酒でもこんな香りはしねえだろうな。
Heisuke? Something was off. I called out for him, but Heisuke had been such distance from me that he couldn't hear my voice.
そっちにもまだ隠れてるんだろう。お前らの血も俺によこせよ。温かくて甘い血をさ。
Heisuke, no! I couldn't bear it anymore and I ran up to him. Then more bullets came suddenly raining down. A shower of bullets came one after the other, and they tore through the flesh of our bodies. And finally I heard one last crack of the gunshot ringing in my ears. A huge force had torn through where my heart was, the hole dripping with blood from my chest. All of a sudden I couldn't see the back of Heisuke, and my consciousness started slipping. Bad end. Record of service. Heisuke. So that means you're free. Make him endure it. For the very, very last time, we're making him endure it. He said he didn't want to drink blood. That's what he told me. If that's what Heisuke wants, then I must do my best to honor it.
大丈夫だって。心配いらねえから。
Heisuke was smiling, but I could see the cold sweat dripping down his forehead. He'd never gotten like this before, and even during the days of his training sessions, he kept his composure well.
あのさ、少しの間向こうに行っててくれるか。こんな情けねえ姿、お前に見られたくねえからさ。
Heisuke. I was too concerned to leave his side, but even then, please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. I walked away from him, hanging out a little distance away, but I kept him in view. I could hear his suffering from where I stood, and it filled me with sadness. Heisuke! Heisuke!
大丈夫だ。俺はこんなことに負けやしないから。
I bit my lip. Time passed, and I prayed for his bloodlust to pass. All I could do was pray for his safety. Skip B button. A second volley of gunfire rattled through the air. Heisuke pulled me through the woods as the voices of our pursuers echoed behind us.
いいか、何があっても絶対に手を離すんじゃねえぞ。
I know. Just as the words escaped from my mouth, we'd heard more gunshots coming from the direction towards which we'd been running.
くそ、向こうには敵が嫌がるのか。じゃああっちの方向に。
As we turned towards another path, more gunshots rang from that direction as well. Heisuke, are we?
囲まれてるみてえだな。
Heisuke crouched dead silent, and he carefully scanned the vicinity around him.
あそこだけ囲みが薄いみてえだ。人の気配があんまりしねえ。
You can tell?
羅刹になってから読めが効くようになったからな。ひとまず俺があそこにいる兵を切って突破するから、合図したらお前も後に続いてくれ。
Got it. Heisuke stared intently at a nearby soldier, and he waited for the perfect moment to strike. Then, he ran swiftly through the thick grass, and he charged towards the enemy soldiers. With 2 quick slashes, he had killed the men before they could even flinch. Just then,
悪兵の生き残りだ。撃て！
the soldiers, all of whom were dressed in Western uniforms, fired their guns towards Heisuke.
へ、銃なんてこの俺に効くわけねえじゃねえか。あれ？
Not the Ore again! Heisuke glanced down at his body, and his expression instantly became incredulous. What was going on? Since he's a fury, the wounds from the bullets should have healed almost immediately, but Heisuke seemed surprised at first to see the bullet holes remain on his body.
この弾に何か仕掛けがしてあるのか。まあいいや。体から血が完全に失せちまう前に、お前らを全滅させるのなんて簡単なことだからな。
Heisuke leapt from the grass and hid behind the trees, dodged the bullets, and killed the enemy warriors one by one. Every time he killed a soldier, it was followed by the splatter of blood and a retching scream. Heisuke was almost completely drenched, coated in blood, the thick liquid slowly dripping from his person.
お前は先に大阪城へ行ってろ。こいつらは俺が何とかする。
But I can't leave you behind, Heisuke.
お前がいると戦いにくいんだよ。それに。
Besides what?
いいから行け。俺もこいつらを片付けたらすぐに追いかけるから。
I wasn't sure if it was okay for me to leave without Heisuke beside me, but his demeanor pushed me to go on, and I turned to run towards the direction of Osaka Castle. He should be fine, right? I mean, Heisuke is a fury now. It's not like he could be easily killed. Surely he'll catch up with me soon. I somehow managed to get to Osaka Castle. But despite how long I'd waited, Heisuke never caught up to me.
まだ起きてるか。
Nagakura, Harada.
明日江戸行きの船が出るらしいぜ。お前はどうするんだ。俺たちと一緒に来るか、それとも。
By the time I'd arrived to Osaka Castle, the Supreme Commander, Lord Yoshinobu, had left, and the Shinsengumi had made the decision to return to Edo as well. Is there any way for us to wait? Yawning. Is there any way for us to wait, even if just a little longer? Heisuke might still arrive.
そりゃ無理だな。お前の気持ちはわかるが、今に至るまで何の頼りもねえんだ。あいつはもう。
It's hard to know who will come back from war and who won't. Me, though, I thought I'd be prepared for this. But I never thought for a second that I wouldn't ever see Heisuke after he turned into a fury.
くそ、平助の野郎。どうしてこんなに早く死んじまうんだよ。これじゃ何のために羅刹になったのかわからねえじゃねえか。
Nagakur tightly balled his hand into a fist, and he punched the ground out of frustration. I felt the same way. He became a fury after overcoming so many, after a near-fatal wound. Only 2 months had passed since Abura no Koji. I wiped the tears that were beginning to trickle down my cheek.
ありがとな。平助のために泣いてくれて。
Harada's words made Heisuke's death definitive. I crumbled to the floor and cried. The next day, I gotten onto the ship with the men of the Shinsengumi, and together we left Osaka Bay to head towards Edo. During the recent battle of Toba Fushimi, Yamazaki-san was gravely wounded, passing away in the ship. We'd perform a burial by the sea. Heisuke left nobody behind, so we weren't able to hold a memorial service for him. Even so, I don't think I could ever forget about Heisuke. I was sure the other captains had the same feeling as me too. As the wave crashed against the shore, I thought back to what he said to me as I left him there in the tall grass.
お前がいると戦いにくいんだよ。それに
I have a feeling about what he would have wanted to tell me. I don't want you to see me like this. Hopefully, I was able to honor his wishes. But even if it wasn't something Heisuke wanted, I should have stayed back then. I wanted to. Heisuke, we're almost arriving at Edo. The Edo you loved. The night wind was cool with the scent of the sea, as if offering an answer from a distant place.